things that the original audit had spoken of was training, and I know that every time you come here, we speak of training and new things that are going on.
Pardon me. And as I mentioned the last time, we already have a person that comes in from the outside and it does training such as conflict resolution, things of that nature. We have a lot of mandated training. The last 6 months or so, because of training for the IMPACT program, which is our records management system, and the new Everbridge program, it's taken a little bit of time away from the extras, like the outside training, but we have folks that we can count on to do that. It's going to be one of the initiatives for 2015 is to get more of that outside training done. We found that with the IMPACT program that we brought in, which is helping us a lot, that we were lacking in computer skills, basic computer skills. It wasn't a requirement for the job. So we're going to look to have an introduction to computers, and we did get some help from the gals over in community relations that, you know, they helped bring somebody, and to the office's credit, they just said, you know what, I need help with this. So I think it's got to be a little more structured. That's going to be part of the training that we're going to bring in. Report writing we have a need, so that'll be a priority.
Who heads your union now? Or not your union, but the officers union. Who's the union leader?
Say it one more time.
Who's the union?
The union leader?
Yeah.
There's a new one. Dan Flaherty.
Okay, I know. He's got
he's
got some facial hair now. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's fine.
Yes. You'll see him after 11 most of the
Right.
time.
Right.
And you know, so the union is invigorated, reinvigorated, I should say. We don't, unfortunately, we don't have problems with our union. I guess that could be for a variety of reasons,
But I think one of the things that has been a problem with your unions, from our perspective, you know, has been that there have been a high number of officers that have had whatever complaints and such on that, and many of those complaints for some officers were being late 5 minutes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's a distinction between, I would say, those trivial complaints and the ones that are also more serious, and
Yes.
it becomes hard to look at the officer's records and see, you know, gee, well, there's, you know, this one has 15 infractions and that one has 15 infractions.
We've come a long way with that.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I felt that was
We've spoken about it.
I felt that was a union issue because the union needed to figure out how to get the right kind of discipline, say, for example, for attendance, without it translating into the the officer's history,
Right.
you know,
It's
with the same severity as other things that are severe.
If you accumulate, you're not penalized for lateness until you're late the fourth time. You know, and that usually we don't have people being late. You know, in law enforcement, it's a little bit different than an office because you're dependent on what we call face-to-face relief. So being late in this business is, you know, a lot more critical than maybe some other areas of employment. But what used to happen was that on the fourth play, they were characterized as suspensions, which was
That's the word I was.
that was half the problem. So it's now loss of pay if one and the I guess the threshold, if you will, for these penalties that's all part of prior union negotiations. But we've also adjusted that. You know, we had a little task force, and we redid some of those penalties because they were overly harsh. And in the main, we made penalties less rather than make them more severe, because it was pretty severe the way it was. Now that's going to be, I don't think that's a done deal, a completed project yet. We're going to be constantly working on that. But I think we've come a long way.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it was a union issue that.
Actually, they never complained about it, not to me. But I, when I
just say if you're getting an officer moving to a different position, if they have 10 suspensions.
They're not even having an interview.
Right.
And I told them that. That's why they readily agreed to change the verbiage from suspension to loss of pay.
Okay,
There's a few other things that
you were giving us some